Tonight, the power of art and dissent in the digital age. We have a global exclusive with Chinese artist and activist Ai Weiwei. Good evening, everyone. I'm Christiane Amanpour, and welcome to the program. Art and artists have always played a role in challenging political power. And that's because of art's unique ability to communicate directly with the public. And that's especially significant in communist China, which has always tried to control both art and dissent. During the Cultural Revolution back in 1996 to 1976, great Chinese works were destroyed and millions of people were persecuted and jailed. Now, the internet age has introduced its own set of tensions, and this week, Google moved closer to leaving China in a showdown over censorship. We explore all of this with artist Ai Weiwei, whose outspoken criticism of China's government has won him world renown, and it has also almost cost him his life. Ai Weiwei has never been afraid to shatter the most potent symbols of Chinese culture and politics. In one photo series, dropping a priceless Han Dynasty urn, or painting Coca-Cola on another one, reflecting the commercialization of an ancient culture. He helped design the Bird's Nest Stadium for the 2008 Beijing Olympics, and then criticized the government for failing to use the Olympics to change its political ways. But perhaps his bravest stance came after the 2008 earthquake in Sichuan that killed thousands of schoolchildren. Ai Weiwei assembled activists to collect names of the dead and criticized on his blog the local government that allowed poorly built schools to crumble like sandcastles. And that prompted a major exhibition in Munich called So Sorry, using the children's backpacks as a reminder of the young lives that were lost, and his feeling that Chinese officials responded weakly to the children's deaths.
One day, one mother of the dead students wrote to me, and she's the mother of a 7-year-old girl. And but she said, all I want is she to be remembered. She has been happily living in this world for 7 years.
His art has taken a personal toll. The Chinese government has shut down his blog. And when Ai Weiwei traveled to Sichuan last year to testify on behalf of another activist, he says police came to his hotel room and beat him on the head. He posted photos on Twitter. And a month later, when installing his Munich show, he was rushed to emergency brain surgery. Again, on Twitter, he posted his belief that this was the result of the police beating. And he told his story once again to tens of thousands of people all around the world. And now, Ai Weiwei joins me in the studio. Welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Let's start at the beginning, because you've really brought art to a major peak of dissent right now. But let's start at the beginning with your own family story. Your father, and we have a picture of him right here in our desk with you, he had a major influence on you. Tell me about your young years and your father's artistic experience.
My father studied in Paris in 1930s. So in his 20s, he came back to China and he was put in jail immediately.
Why was he put in jail?
Those young artists, he was study art, so they are prepared for a kind of demonstration. So the nationalistic party just put them in jail, and he spent years in jail, and later he joined the communist struggle.
And he was a hero of the Communist Party?
For a while he was because the Communist Party used his influence to really take a lot of young people to join the Communist Party.
He used his art, his poetry, and other works.
Yes.
So then they cracked down on him, right, in the Cultural Revolution?
Long before that, 1957, the year I was born, he was crashed with about 300,000 Chinese intellectuals.
What influence did that have on you, on your art today and on your activism today?
From very young age, I started to understand that this nation has no humanity. They crash down everybody who has different opinions, not even different opinions, just a different attitude. You can cost your life.
Let me ask you particularly about how you use imagery to express that view. We saw in that taped piece, and we've got the images of how you shattered an ancient antique Han Dynasty urn, and how you painted Coca-Cola on another one. What was the point of that? What were you trying to say?
I try to encourage people to look at our past in a critical way, because as our education, we always have a great history. But in the reality, we are poorest in ethics and philosophy. So I try to bring people's conscious on how we deal with our past.
And what does shattering the urn mean then? Shattering history, shattering perceptions?
I think by shattering it, we can create a new form, new way to look at what is valuable, how we decide what is valuable.
You said the system has no humanity. I'm looking at these amazing pictures here of your painted vases. Again, these are Neolithic, you told me, even older than Han. Yes. What do you say, and how do you explain what you're talking about in terms of humanity? You say it has no humanity. What do you mean by that?
Well, you see a party system which crashes down anybody who have different opinions, who have very different ideas in their mind. So this just simply to have different opinions can cost their life, can be put in jail, can be silenced, and can be disappeared. And the other people would take it and look at it with not giving support.
So you're clearly really sort of working against that with your art, with your activism. How do you make your dissent? How does art equal dissent?
I think for me, art is an individual to use it to express yourself and to successfully communicate with others.
But what are you saying, and how are you using it?
Myself, I try to trying to search for the new way, always trying to set up a new possibility and to find new tools to express myself. Mm-hmm. So in order to reach a broader audience.
You were one of the artists who were chosen to do the so-called Bird's Nest, that incredible stadium that the Chinese government used for the Beijing Olympics in 2008. And there we have that picture there. But you then called